Yo, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be talking more in depth about the button component available in this library. Now before we do begin, we need to install a quick icon library so that we have them available to us throughout this tutorial. And we're going to be using this icon library called Box Icons. They're free, and in my opinion they're pretty damn good. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I've opened up where we last left off, and to install the icons, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste in here npm box icons, and that's it. Now let's just quickly run over the documentation for this component. Like most button components in a library, they're all basically the same thing. It's just a simple button that's either has a certain type of variant, which means a certain type of color, or whether it's outlined, or it has basically no styling whatsoever. And it's the same thing in this library as well. So you have a basic variant, you have an outline, a button border, a neutral, a button border filled, a button brand, success, and destructive. You might have remembered these sort of names right here, brand, success, and destructive, from Material UI and Mantine, where they say success, info, warning, those type of colors. And so these are also accessible with shaded variants like we set up here, and they do have the ability to work with icons, so you can either have an icon on the left or the right side, and they can be disabled. And this is something that's really cool, is I don't think I've seen this before, is you're able to use a button inverse. So if you have a dark background, for example, you're able to inverse the color of the button. And these are the two examples that they give. And it's really simple. All they do is contain it in an inverse container tag. And after that, you have the loading state. Now, in my opinion, the thing that I really like about this library is the actual loaders. They look really, really slick, in my opinion, as opposed to like Google's Material UI. They're very, you've seen those all over the place. This one sort of has a little bit of oomph to it, if you know what I mean. And after that, you have different button sizes. You have a small, a medium, and a large. Now without further ado, let's get our hands dirty and work with this component. Alrighty, so I've opened up my code editor right here, and from our last video we did add a simple button, and what we're going to do is underneath it we'll just create another one. So let's do button with the self-closing brace, and inside of here it does require a couple of things, so I'll give it a simple variant. And for this variant we have a couple of options. Like I said earlier, we have base all the way to success, and in our case we're going to just go with a simple outline brand, and let's just see what it looks like. Right now you wouldn't see anything because we haven't, oh well, we do see a line there, but there's nothing inside of there. So let's add a simple label. So add a label of, let's call it my button. And inside of there we can see that we have a simple my button with an outline brand. Now what if you wanted to add an icon to your buttons? Now I hate to admit it, but it actually took me a little bit of time to figure out, but it's really simple once you actually know how to do it. All you have to do is you have to have a closing and an opening brace for your button, and inside of here, actually let's get rid of this label as well. So inside of here, depending on where you want your button, whether on the left side or the right side, you would have to, if you want on the left side, you would first have to put in your icon. So I'll do box-icons, and let me go ahead and import that at the very top. And let's see here, let's pick out a simple icon. Let's get this cake one right here. And now let's put in some text here, so I'll type in here my button. And now if we go back into the app, we should see, ideally, hopefully, a cake icon on the left side. Now let's say we want it on the right side. You actually have to take this and you have to move it over there, which is a little bit inefficient in my opinion. Let's say you had like 1,000 buttons with 1,000 icons. If there was a prop that you could single-handedly just select to change it all or make it as a variable, that would be a lot more efficient in my opinion, where you can set either left or right side. But that's how you add an icon. And so now let's say you guys wanted to add a simple loading state and make the button disabled. That's really simple. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy this button, and I'll duplicate it, and I gotta give it a prop. So the prop for loading is just is loading, and we can see right here we have an is loading button, but keep in mind it won't have any of the text or the icon either. Now we can do disabled, which will disable the button, but we can't use the disabled prop with is loading because it will still show as it's loading. So in this case, we have it disabled, and we can see right here that it is disabled. That is grayed out right here. And so if you wanted to add some custom styling, it's really simple. All you have to do is just use a style prop. That's pretty much universal in every component, well, most components. And here you can give whatever you want. You can give background color, font size, font family, whatever you want. So in this case, I'll do background color, and let's give it background color of blue, and we'll do font size to be 20 pixels. Hell, you know what, font size, let's do 200 pixels, so we can really tell the difference. And after that, we'll do color to be yellow, like so. And now if you check it out, it's going to be a really tacky button, but it's a really disgusting button. It is a button nonetheless. Alrighty, so that concludes this tutorial. If y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.